Good morning, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the solo runs on the Kanto, in Kanto on the RetroBrown channel. And really need to get nailed down how I do this opening because I kind of mess it up every single time. As you can see, wiggling in front of you, we are doing the Weedle run. Yeah, the Weedle run of all Pokemon. Now, the reason why I was interested to do this one over the other choices that came up in the wheel last week is because it's technically possible that Weedle actually can solo the game. Problem is, as you can look around the screen, we only have 2 moves to work with and a terrible base stat total. We've got 40 in HP, 35 attack, 30 defense, 20 special and 50 speed. And we have Poison Sting and String Shot to work with. So yeah, this is going to be a tough one really. But the reason why this is technically possible to actually solo the game with, it's because we actually do get the move Poison Sting. As you can see in this initial battle here, we actually beat the Charmander because we poison it. So we actually have a good chance to do a bit more than the likes of Kakuna, Metapod, Caterpie, Magikarp, just for the fact that we have Poison Sting. I mean, we still lose against bug trainers when we're quite low leveled. We're not going to do well against the Light Years trainer here as well. Weedle is an awful Pokemon. But the fact that we get Poison Sting means that we get past the major roadblock in Gen 1, and that is Lavender Tower. And the reason why there are some Pokemon which can't even get past Lavender Tower is because they don't have any moves which can hit Ghost types, and there's a few Ghost type mandatory trainers that you have to beat in order to progress. But Weedle has Poison Sting which can hit those Ghost types, which means we actually have a chance to get past there. When we're in this early game though, you can still see how bad Weedle is. We have to be level 15 just to beat the rival on the left of Viridian. And after that we have to spend ages training against Metapods. I mean, the training isn't as bad as the likes of Kakuna because you don't have to keep going back and restoring your PP so you can use Struggle again. You just have to go back to the Pokemon Center and you can heal your PP, get Poison Sting out. Having Poison Sting is a fantastic move in this early game, even though it's only got 15 base power, but it actually means you've got a chance to beat trainers like the Light Years trainer. But against Brock, he is very, very difficult. So Poison is very resisted against Rock and Ground, which means that terrible 15 base power is also going to be a problem. If he gets his defense up too high and you're too low level, the move's just going to keep missing because the game registers is not doing any damage whatsoever, so it'll just display that you're actually just missing instead of saying it's doing no damage. So when we actually go against Brock, the struggle strat is actually the best play to go to. I had to be level 32 to make it possible, but yeah, it is possible to beat Brock with a Weedle. We're at half HP there. I probably could have done that a few levels below, but yeah, the struggle strat is a lot better to be using with Weedle. Moving on to Mount Moon, of course, we get disabled by the fossil trainer, and that means that we're against two poison Pokemon. Level 34, we are going against every single optional trainer. There is not going to be one trainer in this entire run that we do not go against. And even then we barely scrape by, move past, and we move through to Cerulean where Misty is. Now, considering we've had all of those levels to get up, Misty shouldn't be as much of a problem as before, but with Poison Sting, it's still doing barely much. It's going to be a 5-hit KO, even though we're 16 levels above that Staryu. Next comes out the Starmie. She uses X defense to start off with, and then goes for Bubble Beam. This fight would be perfect if we could learn Bide, but even at level 35 it's still not possible. So we're going to move on to the rival on the bridge, get a few more levels up and see how we do from there. We have a lot of problems against the Pidgeotto, of course, because as you guys know, this Pidgeotto loves to spam Sand Attack, and because it comes out first and evasion is broken in Gen 1, you start missing pretty much everything just off one Sand Attack. If your accuracy is not 100, you might as well be 0 in Gen 1. It's that broken. But we do manage to beat the rival. We do get a bit lucky there, but that was probably attempt number 20. I'll be honest, the footage, how long this run actually took me to get to the point that I did, is absolutely insane. It's hands down the longest running I've ever done in my life on a solo run. Like, I thought the likes of the Kakuna, the Metapod runs were bad. Nah, this one takes the cake, completely takes the cake. And when we were at level 36, we actually get a chance where we beat Misty. Now, this was an absolute fluke, because every other time she used Bubble Beam, completely walled us, and that was the only win that I actually got against Misty. And even worse than Misty, we have these two trainers in front of Vermilion, because all of those Pidgeys know Sand Attack. We've just spoken there about how bad Sand Attack is, and how even just one can completely wall you in a battle. Yeah, we get Sand Attack. We beat this trainer, but then we've also got this trainer here, and he's got Eradicate with Hyper Fang. The Spearow, not too bad, but it does lower our attack with Growl, and Poison is physically attacking. So next up is going to be that Raticate, and if it goes for a couple of Hyper Fangs, we won't be able to beat it. And there you go, there it starts hitting those Hyper Fangs, goes for quick attack, but we do manage to stall it out and move through to Vermilion. So I actually did go against all of the trainers to the right of Vermilion as well, which I bet I only ever do on these impossible runs. And yeah, when we come through to the rival, we're actually at level 41, which is insane. I hate being this high level to go against this fight, but this is what we have to do. This was the only attempt as well where we managed to beat him, because, well, we don't beat him this one. We actually had to go and level up a bit more against these trainers. So level 41 was just not enough, because we kept getting walled by that Charmeleon's Ember. Our special is so low that fire attacks just start doing tons and tons of damage. Well, even our defense is so low, so even it doesn't matter whether it's a special attack or a defensive or a physical attacking move, we're still gonna we're gonna take a lot of damage. So level 43, we come back. The Pidgeotto goes down with 3 Poison Stings. For the earlier game, honestly, it's a lot safer to use Poison Sting than it is going with Struggle Strats, because each turn you're taking that recoil damage. And then they're also getting damaged by these Pokemon as well, so it's not a good matchup. The early game, go for Poison Sting, and you'll have more of a chance to get through these Pokemon. Poison Sting does seem to have a very good poison chance as well. Pretty much every battle that I went in with Poison Sting, I seem to have poisoned at least one of the Pokemon. It really helped out in quite a few battles. Coming against Surge though, we actually had a very easy fight. So Thunderbolt does do big damage, we do get paralyzed, but Poison Sting just seems to stall him out. It keeps using Growl on us, and that's the way we win. So we actually get a first time victory against Surge. And again, he proves why Surge is not a good gym leader, really. Now, this was a trainer that completely walled us. We had to level up so much just to get past the Exploding Hiker. And that was just so we could actually get through all of his Pokemon while they were exploding on us. We had to put them to sleep. Well, sorry, not put them to sleep. We had to poison them, stall them out. And we got down to 1 HP, and at level 61 was the first time we actually managed to beat him. So now we can move on to Lavender Tower. We've got the mid-game where most of these impossible Pokemon actually will get walled at in Lavender Tower. So we're at level 61 here. We've got the rival in Lavender Tower. Most of the Pokemon we've done these runs with that I class as impossible. This is one of the hardest fights in the game for them. They just can't match up to some of these Pokemon, and of course Charmeleon has got very powerful Embers. But we do manage to get past level 61 because we didn't need Struggle. It actually became quite an easy first time fight. And we can now move on to the likes of Celadon, where we've got a bad matchup against Erica, really. So, yeah, Erica is going to be a bit of a problem because she's got grass and poison Pokemon. So we're going to have to manage to get past all these wraps, which are annoying. The good thing about this, though, with being a bug poison, because we've got that poison typing, they won't use, like, moves like Poison Powder won't work on us. Because we're a bug type, they won't use grass moves on us very often as well. So that means that, well, Vileplume's only really got grass attacks, so that is what she will be using. But because we've got that typing, we can actually get through Erica relatively easily at 63. That was, again, a first time victory against her. And I was very surprised how well we were doing in this mid-game, considering this is where the other impossible Pokemon got walled. And then I remembered we'd now got Giovanni to contend with. And Giovanni is a very difficult trainer for a Weedle, for any bug-type Pokemon really. If you don't have the type coverage or like the move type coverage to actually get past his rock Pokemon, you're going to get completely walled by the likes of the Onix and the Rhyhorn. And that's very annoying. So we actually go into this with struggle strats where it actually does more damage. His Onix and his Rhyhorn, compared to our high level, don't do that much damage. So struggle is a better strategy to be using here. Kangaskhan, we're going to take it out in 3 hits. And we just hang on with 3 HP at level 67 to get past Giovanni. This took me quite a while to do. Now there's another trainer that I like to go against on these runs, and that is the Black Belt trainer in Saffron. Because when we're doing the likes of the Caterpie, the Metapod, Magikarp runs, I class him as one of the mid-game Elite 4 for them runs. So he has a Hitmonlee, he has a Hitmonchan. The Hitmonchan's actually a lot more dangerous because it has Fire Punch, but at level 68 it's actually not too much of a problem. And we can move on to Lavender Tower. Now this is why Weedle is actually possible to get past. As I was saying earlier in the video, Poison Sting can hit these ghost types because they are ghost poison. I mean, it's still a tough fight, and we have to do multiple attempts against Pokemon 3 times as low as our level, nearly. Like, we're level nearly 69, they're level 23, and they're still walling us. But with having Poison Sting, it makes it actually possible to get past these Pokemon. And that is the whole thing that walls the likes of Magikarp, Metapod, Kakuna, because Struggle doesn't hit ghost types. Poison can. That's the reason why Weedle actually has a chance of being better and actually has a chance of completing a solo run on Gen 1. Koga is next, and he's the poison type gym leader, so you might think that we might have a decent time against him, but no, we really don't. I'm speeding up the footage here because I want to show multiple attempts, but Struggle was actually the best strategy to use here, because it's classed as normal typing in this game. In later generations it's a typeless move, but in this one it's more normal type. We can actually get past these. We are going to take damage from the Struggle and Recoil, but we can get past his Pokemon, and yeah, Self-Destruct takes us out. So Koga becomes a bit of a wall for a while, and we have to go and level up a bit more. How much more though? Yeah. I actually got walled against him so much. I had Pokemon, my HM mules in the background. So when he used Self-Destruct that time, I was so knackered, I just took the win and went. Yeah, you can berate me for that, but when you see the end time at the end of this video, you will understand why I got so exhausted with trying against some of these trainers. You might give me a bit of slack on that. Moving into Silphcore, we get again completely walled by the rival. And you can just see those levels creeping up and creeping up. We're at level 85 and we haven't even gone against Sabrina yet. We're at level 85 and we take about a quarter of our HP just from the Pidgeot. Execute goes down to 1 Poison Sting, which is good. But the Gyarados again is also a complete wall because it likes to spam Dragon Rage. But a few Poison Stings can take it out. The Alakazam is next. You can use Psychic or Confusion, which is super effective. And that leaves us with just the Charizard. Now, we're level 85 and we still don't win. What level do we have to beat the rival just with a Weedle in Saffron? I'm at level 87 on this attempt. We get hit by 1 wing attack, poison hit, and we get 2 critical hits. We get 3 critical hits in a row. And then Hydro Pump hits, so we're looking a lot worse now. We don't even have any moves that we can help badge boost ourselves with. Confusion does big damage, we're on 76 HP. If we get hit by Ember, which we're going to because he looks at our typing and the AI just goes, yeah, we need that, but we do get a clutch critical hit and we managed to beat him at level 87 with 1 HP left. This is how most of the later battles all turn out, and you can see me pausing here because I was just so exhausted. I couldn't believe that we managed to hang on with 1 HP and we could finally move on to Blaine. Now you might be thinking, I haven't been against Sabrina yet. Well, Sabrina I would say is arguably a lot stronger than Blaine. just for the fact of Alakazam. But at level 89, we decide to take on Blaine. We get trapped in Fire Spin, which is the worst possible scenario. We poison that Rapidash. We get a few good hits in. And then the poison starts taking down the Rapidash. He keeps spamming his super potions as well, which is very annoying. And this is why Fire Spin is so annoying to go against. We've got 41 HP here. We poison the Arcanine, and 1 Ember is enough to take us out. When we finally get back to the Arcanine level 94, we get very lucky in that fight. You might see that I've got a lot of HP. We genuinely got so lucky with criticals in that fight with Gen 1 misses. It's time to go back and beat Giovanni because we actually missed him out in Silphco. That's why we couldn't go against Sabrina. So going against the Nidorino, it's actually not too much of a problem. We're level 94 now though. The Kangaskhan, again, is not going to be too much of a problem. When it uses Rage, that is the perfect scenario for this battle, because it doesn't do much damage, and we've gone through 2 Pokemon, we've got 223 left. The reason why I want so much HP is because of this Rhyhorn. It completely walls us with its typing. Poison Sting is not a good move, but it's the only thing we've really got to work with unless we want to go with struggle strats, and I'd rather keep some HP for the Nidoqueen coming out next. And finally, as long as we get that poison, we can take them down. But the annoying thing is Nidoqueen can't be poisoned. In Gen 1, if you are hit by a poison type move that has a chance of poisoning you, but you are also a poison type yourself, you can't be poisoned. And that means we take a loss here. When we finally do beat him though, I lost the footage for that annoyingly. Like I said, there is a lot of hours. Okay, I'll break it down. There is more than 24 hours worth of footage for this run. That's how long it took me to actually get past most of these trainers. Trying to edit through over 24 hours worth of footage was a nightmare. And I'm glad that I prepare and edit these videos in advance and schedule them, because this video alone took me longer than the last 10 videos to edit. It genuinely did. And you might be wondering why have you put like 24 hours worth of footage into a 20-minute video? Because I didn't want to show you every single fight that we were going through. It would just be such a long video. You'd probably be watching this for 5 hours. And this is also why I don't stream, because we'd have been here for days, for weeks. Like, now, we've beaten all of the gym leaders. We've got to Giovanni. This is the final gym. And this is where I realise I've probably not created the best Weedle for this. So in Gen 1 you actually do have EVs, but they are set up differently to the likes of Gen 3 and beyond. I actually don't know how to manipulate these, if I'm being honest. But if I'd gone into this with the perfect IVs to take on Giovanni, we actually might have had a chance to win. And I've seen other people do Weedle runs, but in this attempt, well, that's the penultimate thing of this video, actually. I got completely walled at Giovanni. No matter what I did, no matter which strategy I did, whether it was Poison Sting or Struggle, I just couldn't figure out a way to get past him or get the RNG luck to do it. So, yeah, I'm actually calling it a day at Giovanni. We got to Giovanni at 26 hours and 26 in-game minutes. This is what I mean that I had over 24 hours worth of footage to edit. So I really hope you guys are not going to criticize me too much for the fact that I missed out some bits of footage, or that I haven't even tried to go past Giovanni as much as I can. I tried Giovanni about 150 times. Genuinely about 150 times. And it just never worked. But I have seen YouTubers where it is possible to do this, like J-Rose has managed to figure out a way past, I think. But let's have a look at what we get next time on the wheel for next week. First up we have Horsey. Definitely not. I need a much easier run after that. Cypher. Actually, ooh. That's interesting. What's third? Third is Victory Bell. Ooh, I did want to do a Victory Bell run, but you know what? There's actually an interesting thing about Cypher that I really want to test out. So we're going to go over Cypher for next week. And if you've made it to this point in the video, sorry that it's been a struggle Poison Sting run, but please smash that like and subscribe, you legends, and we'll see you next week with a Cypher run. Take care, guys. I am knackered. Good night.